Hi, I'm Michiel de Wit, and I'm sorry for not being here today. I would have wanted to, but my girlfriend, she's pregnant and we're expecting a baby every day. Going to Germany on a 4-hour journey would simply not have been a wise idea. Nevertheless, I'm really happy that you take the time to watch this video and allow me to explain this little game, Rollercade, that I made. Let me tell you something about myself before I start about Rollercade. I'm Michiel de Wit, 38, and I always loved making games, but I chose to become a software engineer instead, as I figured that would probably be the wiser of the two jobs to pick. I was able to maintain this situation for years, but last year it really started to itch, and I decided to try and make my own game for real. So that's what I did. And I picked a theme that was really close to my heart. I'm involved in the Steam trend that's being rolled out in my home city. So I decided that would be a great team, that would be a great market as well, and that's where I started. Turned out into this really nice little game called Rollercade. Let me just quickly show you what it's about, and then you can later ask me questions if you like. So this is actually the Kickstarter edition, which I was able to make because I got about 200 backers. It contains the entire game, so the game consists of, for the Kickstarter edition, it's a white metal miniature of the Rollercade locomotive, the actual one, some dice, game of cards, and of course there are a number of rule books, including German. So the game is about Rollercade locomotive that needs to be reinstated. Actually, the locomotive is there and there's a whole lot of rails to be laid upon. So the players in this game will be laying the track for the Rollercade. It all starts with a basic bit of track. You notice this is a different kind of card. It's called a Chaos card. I will tell you more about that later. So we'll start with an initial track of 4 pieces. That's always going to be the same, whatever the amount of players in the game. Let me put it like this. And then the Rollercade is going to sit on the 3rd stretch of rail. And all players will receive 2 cards. We'll shuffle the rest. Remove a set number of cards, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, depending on the number of players. And those will be out of the game and into the box. The gameplay is really easy. When it's your turn, you'll take a look at your cards. So right now you can see I have a stretch, a curvy stretch and a Z curve with 1 and 4 on the card. Well, these numbers are significant. When it's my turn, I will draw a 3rd card. So now I have 3 options. What I can do when it's my turn is one of 3 things. First, I can pass, which means effectively I won't be able to get rid of a card, but it will allow me to wait it out, so to speak. If there's no other options, this is always going to be a great option. So I can pass. That means I'll have to take the last card and put it on my discard pile. Well, that's important. The discard pile is actually where you collect all your penalty points, and the player with the least penalty points in the end of the game will win. So I don't want this, but I'll have to do this when I pass, and I have to move the locomotive forward if possible. So that's option 1. Second option is to play a Chaos card. Well, I mentioned those before. Let me just pick one out and show you. So these are Chaos cards, and the Chaos card actually contains no track at all. There's just a bunch of rail pieces. So obviously I cannot build a track with this. So the only thing I can actually do when I hold one in my hand is to put them on my discard pile. So that can be a turn option. I can actually put this on my discard pile. This seems like a trivial action, but it's actually quite useful in some cases. I will tell you about that more later on. Third option is the best one, and that's to actually build track. To do that, I can pick any of my hand cards and add them to the end of the track. So that will be here. They would have to fit, and overlapping cards are not allowed. And furthermore, the numbers on the cards will have to correspond in a certain way. So that means they can be either 1 higher or less than the card on the end of the track. So in this case there's a 2, so I can put the 1 or 3 there, and a 2 is allowed as well. So the only card not allowed is a 4 right now. So I can pick any of these 2. For instance, I would pick the 2, the curved one. Alright, actually I'm allowed to play multiple cards as long as they have the same number. So I could do this as well, but right now I'm not going to do that. Feels like it's not the best option. Then I'll count the points on the cards I place and roll the number of dice on them. So if I roll blank, nothing happens. Would I roll a wheel, then the locomotive would actually move the number of steps equal to the amount of wheels. So right now there's only 1 wheel because there was only 1 dice required. So I moved one forward. So now the next player is on, same thing will happen. So the player will have 2 cards, will draw the 3rd one, and now he's faced with the chaos card, as you can see. Same options apply here. So either to pass, to play a chaos card, or to build track. Well, in this case, this player will pass. Now we'll play the chaos cards as well. Now, it's my turn again. I'll draw a card. Well, there's a 3. What I'll do right now is to play the 4. This may seem a little risky because there's only 2 bits of tracks. What will happen if I roll too many wheels? Well, let's see. There's 4 wheels on there. That's a lot. So we'll have to move 4 bits. 1, 2. No more options. So 2 of these dice cannot be applied. That means I'll have to take 2 cards from the end of the track and put them on my discard pile in any order I like. So right now I will do this order, for instance. The order is relevant because I'm actually allowed to combine. So say at some point in the game I would have to put this card on my discard pile. That means I can actually combine the 2. So any 2 cards with the same number on my discard pile will actually be allowed to go back into the box. And this is where the chaos cards come in. The only thing you can actually do is put them on the discard pile. So that means there's no other use than to actually combine them with the cards on your pile. So if I would have this 3 card on my pile, I would combine it with the 3, then actually that's a good move. But in the end of the game, any card not played in my hand and on the discard pile will be counted together. It will be the penalty point. So the chaos cards have to be gone by the end of the game, otherwise you'll have a lot of extra penalty points. So the game will just continue this way until the draw pile is completely depleted. Then points will be counted and the winner will be announced. It may seem like a really simple game, and in a way it is. The rules are not too complicated, but the emergent gameplay is actually quite interesting. Because of the push your luck characteristics, you might say it's a luck-based game only, but it isn't, because of the tactical element in combining. The hand management in combination with the discard pile management makes it quite interesting. So you constantly be looking at the end of the track, see if there's any cards you can use, determining whether it's actually worth taking more risk, whether you will be more on the down low and prevent any high cards from ending up on your discard pile. This combination, I feel, makes it a really interesting game. As I mentioned, I've actually done a Kickstarter campaign already, and well, people were really enthusiastic. I've enjoyed this game a lot as well. I think it's a nice filler game. It typically takes only 15 to 20 minutes, which makes it really nice and actually replayable as well. So you can play 2 or 3 rounds, do best of 3, and that way it's just a great way to end the night with like a big train game and have this smaller one instead. Production-wise, this of course is a small addition. I had these white metal trains made. I think they're lovely, but at the same time, of course, they are not so very cheap to produce. So I have a retail edition right now in preparation with a wooden train, which is probably going to be able to sell for like 15 euros or less in shops. I hope you like the game. If you have any questions, please let me know. And again, I'm sorry for not being here. Bye.